everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Oop, we're echoing. Who has us up? Uh-oh.
Me.
It went away. Okay, maybe we're good. Thank you guys all for coming. I am joined by my co-host, Julian. He is here with me every week except for the next 2 weeks. He is on vacation, so I will have some special guest co-hosts that I will announce at the end of the show. I'm joined by Drew from Tip of the Mitt Flips underneath me and AmberResells, and both of them have been on before, so I'm happy they're back. So I am going to let Drew and Amber introduce themselves to you guys, and Richard will be dropping links in the chat to their channels, so if you're not subscribed, check them out. Here is Drew.
Drew here, Tip of the Mitt Flips. I'm a full-time eBay reseller, and on my channel, every 100 subscribers, there's a giveaway. And last time I was on, it bumped me over and we had a giveaway. So Siggy, if you're in the audience, you won the last giveaway. So if you're here, claim your prize.
Oh, Siggy comes out. She emails me. I have her email too, Drew.
Oh, okay.
All right. Here is Amber.
Hey, everybody. My name is Amber. My YouTube channel is AmberResells. I work as a full-time actuary, and I do YouTube and reselling part-time for a little bit extra money and because I think it's really fun.
Perfect. I'm getting there. All right. All right. Richard came in really early, guys. Richard came in at 6:30 to ask this question because he wanted to beat Duncan. He wants to know, do you sell on other platforms? If you do, what was the reason and how does it compare to eBay?
The only reason I currently sell on other platforms is if, like if you can see, if I move, over back here, there are some Corningware, Cornflower Blue coffee pots, and those had a recall, and you can't sell them on eBay, but people still very much want them. So I put them on my local marketplace. And then I did today see that there's Flip, I think is what it's called. I saw it over on Commonwealth Picker's channel. And if it's as easy as he demonstrated today, I will be cross-posting on all platforms. So I don't know if that is legit. If it's gonna, I assume if he's plugging it, it's for real. But it's like a wait list you had to get onto. And if the way he did it works, then I will be cross-posting on everything.
And I currently, so last year I did a test. So in 2021, I did a test of cross-listing. Before that, I had only listed on Poshmark. And last year I listed 200 items to Poshmark, eBay, and Facebook Marketplace, all at the same prices at the same time. The only difference then was the shipping differences between the platforms. And did that as a test to see whether it was worth cross-listing or not. And it came out pretty even in terms of the number of sales I had on each platform of the 200 items. And so I continue to cross-list to all three platforms. And I'm probably going to use an automated service at some point, but I want to do it as a video. And so I purposely haven't explored any of the cross-listing tools because I want to, go in not having looked at any of them and then compare them all and for a video. So
that's cool.
I used to do like Mercari, Poshmark, and a little bit of Facebook Marketplace and eBay. And I've been solely in probably the last 4 to 6 months been solely eBay. Like I have neglected every other thing and just been really hammering eBay. And there's really, the reason was, I guess, because eBay to me is very natural and easy. So I can like list fast and do all that stuff. Now list perfectly does help a lot. I mean, that was very quick too, but really I was just like, eBay's really was cranking out some major sales. So I was like, this is good enough. And then, so the rest kind of went by on the back burners. I still have good accounts on all of them, but I don't use them.
Yeah, and I use List Perfectly to cross-post. I've used them for close to 2 years. They're getting really close to doing a lot of automated, like automatically pulling down sold items, which I'm really excited about. That's a feature that I all of us want. I sell on eBay, Poshmark, Etsy, and Facebook Marketplace, and eBay is probably 90% of those sales. Second is probably Facebook Marketplace, but Facebook Marketplace is probably like 1,000 a month compared to eBay's 10,000 a month. And then Poshmark is probably about 500 a month. It's lower. And then Etsy is probably right around what Poshmark is, like 400 to 500 a month. So for me, the big thing, And I know you guys have seen not everybody, but people losing their accounts on eBay. And my big thing is I don't want all my eggs in one basket. So I want to have those other platforms established where if something did happen to my eBay account, I would be able to pick up. And I think my sales are slower there because I don't promote there like I do eBay. So like with Facebook, I don't renew my listings. With Etsy, I don't do tags and keywords, which I think would improve my sales. So like that's all stuff I would do if I were to lose my eBay to get those sales up and like take the place of it if I absolutely had to. Duncan is talking about Vero. So he said, Vero seems to be getting out of control on small brands. How do sellers stop getting Vero eBay suspended?
Well, to guarantee you'd have to sell absolutely nothing that's on the Vero list. But even then, you're not 100% safe. And then there's some things rolling out for clothing that I think it's going to get worse, actually, because like Lululemon, they're going to do like they give you a credit, you give them their stuff back, their used items, and they give you a credit and you get new. And then eBay is, I think, going to start doing like a used, like a damaged direct from companies. So if they do that from Nike or large brands, you know, high end, like your Burberry or Gucci or something like that, they'll definitely start cracking down because they don't want the competition. So with clothes, I think it's going to get worse.
And I don't have too much advice on this. I think because of watching different YouTube videos, I have a general idea of what usually gets people Vero'd. So that would be my best advice is there's videos out there where people will go through a list of common Vero items. And yeah, if you get an idea of that, hopefully you can prevent some of them at least from happening.
Yeah, I was actually going to kind of say the same thing. There's like general ones that everybody knows about, but the smaller ones, that's one of those things that are always, you know, anybody could come up and do that. So it's not like I wouldn't really worry about it, but I would know the big ones. Like I would definitely know the ones that always get you veered or always get a flag, you know. So I would definitely know those, but the rest, it's just one of those things. I don't even think about it until it happens.
And they'll warn you guys. They'll warn you. So that's the big thing. If they warn you, listen to them. I have never been Vero suspended. I was suspended for something else one time, but I've never been Vero suspended. I did get 2 Vero warnings, and I just took that brand down. You get a warning, pay attention, listen, take the stuff down. I do so many vintage and one-off. I don't do a ton of name brand stuff. I do some, but for me, noticing those Veros popping up, that's going to be stuff that I kind of out sourcing after that point and just kind of switch what I'm sourcing. All right, Miss Cynthia, how can I dispute a negative feedback left by a buyer that is not correct?
You used to be able to contact somebody, but I think now they just redirect you to a form you have to fill out on eBay. But I don't do it. So if it's for me personally, the time spent to try to get it taken down wouldn't be worth it. But I also have, you know, hundreds of feedback, so it doesn't, one bad one won't affect me the way it would affect somebody else's store. So that's not something I do. But the last time I tried, I couldn't contact an eBay person. It like clicked me to a link where I had to fill out a form. And if you're right, it'll most likely get corrected and taken down.
And yeah, I haven't had one yet, but I would probably start by calling eBay. But if, like you said, they'll just redirect you. But at least you start there, they'll tell you where to go. Or eBay for Facebook or whatever it's called. People seem to have good luck talking to them as well.
I was going to say the same thing. Fill out the form, and usually then I'll just contact. I've only done it once, and eBay for Business on Facebook usually can genuinely help you.
Yeah, so I just had a negative feedback removed actually this month, and I used eBay for Business on Facebook. The buyer was claiming that I said coffee mugs were full size. They were actually small ones, and I had it in my title as well as pictures with the tape measure. So I contacted eBay for Business. They read their feedback, and they actually removed it for me. So I think if you're okay. Like them, they said, oh, you said these were large mugs. They weren't, which I clearly did not. However, if it's an opinion, like they say your item was dirty or something like that, they're not going to pull it down. So if you think they're just not being fair and don't have any like supporting documentation of like your title or photos, or like if they say it was delivered late in that situation, then they might not remove it. So just be aware of that. Miss Cindy, yay! Cindy became a YouTube member. We had one, actually, I'm going to pull it up since we're doing the dolphin. Richard was nice enough to send me a screenshot, and I don't know if Miss Peggy is here too. So I will give you guys this dolphin, and thank you so much for joining the channel.
Welcome to the flipping family.
All right. Duncan's question number 2. He said the new eBay listing form, in my view, is lame. It's taking twice as many clicks to get things done. What do we think of the new listing form?
I wouldn't even have noticed that it had changed because I list 99.9% on my phone, and that didn't really change much at all. But I needed to adjust some shipping thing. But it's eBay, so it's going to cause issues. There's going to be glitches, but it doesn't affect my day to day because I don't list on a computer.
I don't list at all on the computer, so I did not even know that this changed until this question. So I'm not going to need any help.
Yeah, my face was confused. I was like, "What? What changed? I just listed something today.
Yeah.
I didn't see a change."
I thought Julian's camera froze.
No,
I'm phone too, so I haven't used the new listing form, so I can't input on that. I know the big benefit of the new listing form is that you can use videos in your listing, but I haven't had any items that I wanted to do that, so I've not tried it out yet. Miss Cindy wants to know, can you enter a custom SKU if you don't have an eBay store? I'll go ahead and answer and say yes. It's at the bottom of item specifics, and it doesn't matter if you have a store or not. All right, back to Duncan. Duncan says, is the cost of living increase with everything going up all the time going to affect your bottom line on reselling?
Like, is the cost of living increase going to affect how much money I have? Yes. I'm not sure. It has affected what I'm willing to ship. That's for sure. I'm like doing completely away with large items. Definitely, I used to try to max out what I would send to USPS. So a number 7, I would fill those up, and poundage didn't really matter. But now I'm trying to shrink everything down. I'm pulling DVD players out, not worth my time, not worth the effort, stuff like that. That's really the only thing that's affecting me. But I mentioned this in a video, not that, I don't know, actually probably was a long time ago. But it takes a long time for something like inflation or price increases to hit a market like eBay, because it's not like a store where the store, they go out and they price change everything and the prices go up. For resellers, you have to let the market slowly dictate what resets the prices. So it's not like you can go, oh, shipping's up or cost of bubble wrap's up, everybody increase the price of their dishware. It's not going to happen. Just people are going to get sick of making not enough money. Price will slowly increase, and that'll take a long time to adjust. So you got to do that in your own personal store. For me, that was get rid of large items.
Yeah, I think I'll just continue to look at comps. So if the new items become more expensive and therefore the resale market price goes up, then comps will start to reflect that, and I'll keep adjusting prices. And I suppose like gas prices going up will affect our bottom line. But on taxes, it's usually a certain cents anyways that you take off per mile. So, but yeah, technically it will affect your bottom line based on how much gas you're spending for sure.
Yeah, definitely, because I just got a notice because I have 2 storage units. Both of those have just raised considerably in the last month, probably 3 weeks. That's gone up. Gas, but yeah, one of those things that's going to be a write-off, but still hurts your bottom line. I have really seen a big difference. I just because I don't buy like a box at a time. I buy like 400 boxes at a time, especially for golf clubs and stuff like that. And I have my documentation from last time I bought these boxes, and they have gone up considerably. So now, kind of like what he just said, is that I only ship things now that are really worth, like golf clubs. There's a thresh point now because the box itself costs $1.50, where before it only cost 75 cents. And then a golf bag box, the big 12 by 12 by 48, they're like $6 a piece. They're monsters they're very expensive now. Before they were like 4 something. I forget exactly what the numbers were, but I was like, okay, well now my threshold for a golf bag is $75 or more. That's before it was 45 or something, but the shipping's up and all that's up. So all that kind of goes in. So I'm leaving a lot of things behind at yard sales where before I would pick it up and sell it. But now it's like, is it worth the time to ship this big item in this very expensive box?
Yeah. Yeah, and for me, like definitely gas is going to be a big thing. And Julie and I were talking about this because like we want to get a truck, but for these long hauls where I go and buy stuff, and actually I think I'm gonna have to take the truck tomorrow. So gas price is gonna cost me more when I'm driving 3 hours to pick up auction stuff. But what I'm doing like this time is I am actually bidding on 2 auctions that are 15 minutes away, and I will pick up 2 auction hauls. And that way I make the profit worth it. So like per item, it's still not gonna increase. And I agree with Drew though. We can't just, and I say this all the time, like you can't say, oh, stuff costs higher, so you just raise it, because if the rest of the market doesn't raise it with you, your item's gonna sit there and not sell. So you really have to price according to market value. And by that, you need to either pick up stuff that's higher profit or like I don't source a lot thrifting, so I'm not like really not a lot of gas. When I buy thousands of dollars and it's one trip there and back, and I know I've got good stuff from online auctions. But I too am thinking twice about the bigger items because shipping has went up, and I have to think if the buyer is going to be willing to pay them. And like I let a Yadro go on auction today because I knew the U-ship cost is over double what it used to be. And so that was like a deciding factor for me. So bottom line, I don't think, but like the overall picture, it definitely will change how I'm doing business. Miss Rebecca, and then I think I saw one from Arcade Treasure too. Here is your dolphin, Miss Rebecca.
Super chat.
All right. So I was holding off till the end of the show to tell you who my special co-host is going to be next week, but since they sent me a super chat, I will go ahead and tell you Arcade Treasure, Roy, and Kim will be special co-hosts next week. And we will be joined by Troy over at Mountain Man Treasure, as well as George the Antique Nomad. So it will be a great show next week. So Roy, thank you for being my co-host next week, Roy and Kim. Here is your dolphin.
Super chat.
Perfect. Jeremy wants to know, what kind of goods do you buy and sell, and why did you decide on it?
Well, I live in a small town, under 5,000 people. So it was literally whatever I could find. Like people would always ask me, oh, what you sell on eBay? What do you sell? Anything that will make me $1. And it was, when I started, it was anything that would literally make me $1. I would pay $3 and sell it for $10 and make $1. But over time, I've been able to kind of narrow it down, but I haven't done what they call niche down. I would just get bored. That's the thing. It's actually a good business model to slim down to one specific thing if you can source it regularly and you only have to have one type of packaging. But I would get bored out of my mind, so I can't do that. But I kind of go in shifts. Like I'll get a bunch of books and I'll list a huge lot of books. Or I just did a huge Air Jordans buy, and it was actually my best buy ever. But it's just whatever I can literally get my hands on, because I don't have access to like even an auction house. The closest one to me is 4.5 hours away. So I mean, I could have it shipped, but then I'm kind of narrowed down to what I could buy. Basically whatever I can get.
So for a long time, all I sold was shoes and clothing for like first 3 years, something like that. And why? I guess I don't know. I think maybe just because there's an abundance of it at thrift stores, garage sales, and you can specifically, learn shoes, and there's lots to learn in that category. But it's unlike when you go to the hard goods section, there's so many different types of items. At least with shoes, you can learn certain brands and just go to that section and know. And then last year, I started branching out beyond shoes and clothing and listing all kinds of stuff from different categories. And actually, what I was photographing last night and will be photographing tomorrow as well, it's all non-clothing items. So like ornaments and I don't know, board game and a bunch of random stuff. And I think it's more fun, but I think clothing definitely is easier because it's just, you learn the brands, you learn the process, and it's easy to ship versus some of this other stuff. Like I have to do a lot more research and it takes me longer, but hopefully it'll build up over time and it'll get faster.
Yeah, the beginning, kind of same story. I was all like clothing and shoes, and I'm really trying to steer away from that like a lot because now, since I've like gained knowledge on, well, first I didn't even think like I didn't know much, so I didn't know like golf clubs sold so well, and I know I have a small base on it, and I live in a very golf club enriched area, so that's really where it comes down to like what can you get? I can get golf clubs; they sell well, and then I really steer towards like outdoor gear, fishing gear, just because I like to sell it. And stuff like that. But I really still pick up a whole lot of stuff, and I like to learn about a whole bunch of stuff. So really the answer is I still buy everything if I can make some money, or I think I can make some money.
Yeah, and I'm the same way as Drew. Like, I'm really funny about, like, I'll get an influx of one type of thing, and then I'm like, okay, I'm bored with that. And then I get an influx of another thing, and then I'll circle back around. Like jewelry, I did a ton a year and a half ago, and then I got away from it. And then recently I've gotten back into jewelry. Scarves were the same way. And so for me, I don't have any type, and I just went over that on my video Monday. Easily key in the rural area. Well, luckily, I have the option to pick up tomorrow. Both of them are about 3 hours away, so it is a pretty significant drive. And I got so much, I'm probably going to have to take the truck. And it really, I got his chairs, so that's why I have to take the truck. It's not even for stuff I'm reselling, but. I would get bored too. I agree with Drew. If I niche down and it was really repetitive, I wouldn't want to do it. So that's a big thing for me. All right. Jeremy wants to know, what's your sales price strategy? Do you price high, run sales, promote listings, offer to watchers, lowball to move in inventory, etc.?
That depends on the type of item and the market demand for it. Like I was mentioning, the Nike shoes I just got, I priced those very high because even if there was one $100 cheaper than mine, if I'm the only size 10.5, I dictate how much that's worth because no one else has one and they're collectible or desirable or whatever. But if I'm selling like a generic Walmart brand something or a toy that there's 50 of them listed, I'm fighting for the bottom price because I just want to move it. I bought it at a price that I'm comfortable selling it at, and whatever is in the cheapest range. Sometimes what I'll do is actually what I mostly do is I'll go to the sold, I'll sort them by highest, and that's the one I pick for my listing. And then I'll go to the listed and compare the amount. So if there's 40 sold and there is 1,000 listed, you got to be the bottom price. If there's 40 sold and there's 20 listed, you can be the top, middle to the top, somewhere in that range. So it really depends on what you're selling in the market.
So generally, I don't like I know some people who will price higher than like the highest sold they've seen, like slightly higher than that. But I definitely do not do that. I do not like sitting on the inventory. I like flipping things fast, especially if it's a common item. So I list about, let's say, at the 60th, 70th percentile of the prices I've seen. And then I will take offers. So I always have offers on eBay and accept offers on Poshmark and Facebook. And I make a lot of my sales through offers. Obviously, if I'm getting like a ton of likes on Poshmark, a ton of watchers, or a bunch of offers, then I know maybe I should hold out for my price because there's a lot of people interested. But in general, I leave offers on. I don't price at the highest price of what I've sold, but I definitely don't price at the lowest either. and I accept a lot of offers. When I'm trying to move inventory, I just keep dropping prices, and then I'll drop the price and then wait 4 months, 5 months, drop the price again, wait 4 months, 5 months, and then hopefully sell. I don't have really rare stuff usually. Like I know, Kat, you have some more like long tail items. I do have like a bridesmaid dress store where that one I just wait because I know I have to wait for the right person. But if it's a very common item and there should be lots of people looking for it, then if it's not selling, you're probably overpriced. So in that case, I'll drop the price.
Yeah, I would say that I price at the upper tier of like everybody. Depends actually on condition too, obviously, but we'll say like a good product that it looks good and it has, it's conditions good. And I would price kind of high, very competitive, but a little bit higher. And then I started promoting everything in the store. I never used to do that. I very rarely run sales, maybe once a month. I always offer watchers stuff. Like if they're watching it, I'm right on there. Like, it's usually 10% off or 15%. It's pretty good because a lot of times I buy cheap and I can move it fast. And that's the whole thing is I don't like sitting on things. So, but I definitely, I don't really it depends if it's been sitting for long. I will definitely like 50% off for people just to get it going.
Yeah. And for me, I price high and run constant sales. And I have everything come out right at the average of what everybody's selling. But same thing, if I want to move stuff fast, I might go like $1 below them. And then I send offers to watchers depending on how long they've been listed. So I used to send them from my phone multiple times a day. Now I send them from the computer. So if they're newly listed in the last 3 months, I send 10%. If they're listed like 4 to 6 months, I send 15%. And then if they are 6 months or older, I send a 20% off offer just because they've been there that long. And that has worked really, really well at moving some old inventory out. I do still send them multiple times a day. I just look on the computer now versus the other. But I rarely change my actual prices. I might look like once a year, to see like, am I overpriced? I don't have a ton of like time to go. And like we're at 4,500 listings now. So I have a lot of listings. Fab Flip Lady. All right, guys. So this is my friend Cece. She is one of my personal coaching students. She just put out her first YouTube video and I watched it the other day. It's on an auction haul. So if you guys want to go, I think Cece had 11 subscribers when I looked. If you guys want to go check out Fab Flip Lady, Cece is coming to my camp in Tennessee, so I get to meet her soon. And that's actually my next question too. So Cece, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Here is your dolphin.
Super chat.
And speaking of Tennessee, here's a question. Am I ready for Tennessee? So the nice thing is all my presentations and everything I did for Orlando a few weeks ago are still viable and they are what I am going to use. So I don't have that pressure on me like I did. I do need to put them all in and get them printed. I just ordered mugs today. So if you guys don't know, the people that came to camp know, I give like a swag bag with a Nurse Flipper Camp t-shirt, a Nurse Flipper Camp coffee mug. I give a notebook, a pen. So I have to order all of that stuff. I probably should do it tomorrow. I still have 2 private rooms, 1 bunk room, and class spots left. So if you're interested, and I actually have put everything on sale and the prices include the room, the food, the swag. I do giveaways throughout it. I'm not going to give those away. Only the people that came to Orlando will know what I gave away. So I do giveaways throughout it. And also, so I was hoping to get a couple more people booked before I ordered t-shirts because it's cheaper when I order them in bulk. And they're Nurse Flipper Camp t-shirts. So they're like really specific to camp. And yeah, so I'm hoping that we will get a couple more booked in the next couple days so that I can order them. Cause I'm like, cause we're getting close. So Orlando sold out really fast. And I think Orlando's a little bit easier to get to is probably why, as far as like the airport. Cause I was told by a couple people that, Sevierville, like I think Gatlinburg's the closest airport and a lot of airports don't have direct flights into Gatlinburg. So I think that caused some travel issues for those that are having to fly. But I feel okay. And I rented a cabin for 3 days before, and we're going to go up and enjoy ourselves. My mom
cool.
said she would stay here and watch the animals for us, and we're going to go and actually have a vacation and help us, because that is like unheard of around here. I'm horrible about not doing that. So yes. Raining Retro, we are looking forward to meeting you too. So we have several of my Tennessee people that are coming in here. It's about, I'm glad people loved camp. So the feedback overall was absolutely amazing. It pretty much went the way I thought it would go, and I am happy with it. All right, let's see. Hold on, I see you guys asking each other questions. Okay, Miss Vicky, what do you do if you sell multiple items to one buyer? Do you adjust the shipping?
This is the only case where I adjust the shipping, and I do not refund the complete difference. I refund some type of nice gesture to, say you combine it, and instead of it being 40, it was 30. I'd probably send them $5, something like that. But like I've heard Kat say many times, that difference is paying for your supplies and all that kind of stuff. So multiple item orders are the only time I do that.
So I sell a lot of multiple item orders, but they're on Poshmark. So people just bundle and they pay the flat shipping. So that doesn't really apply unless it's over $5. I mean, over 5 pounds. If it's over 5 pounds, then I have to pay for the extra shipping. So, and then on eBay, I haven't yet had a time where someone bought 2 items. I did have somebody where I listed 3 of basically the same thing, and they're just different colors. And I asked them if they wanted to buy more, but they didn't respond. But that was the one stuff I can think of where I was like, why didn't they buy the other ones? They're exactly the same. But yeah, on Poshmark, it's really easy and built in. And other than that, I haven't had anybody ask yet.
I do. I would say that because usually on eBay, I'll get a question like, hey, do you do combined shipping? I said, yes. But what I want you to do is put it in your cart and like buy it, but don't pay for it. And I'll invoice you the actual amount of money, because it's a lot easier that way. A lot of people now buy them all together, and then I don't do the whole amount like Drew just said. Like I do some, because you have to, especially if it's a big box. Boxes nowadays are killing me. If it's a big box, you got to pay for that box. You get, you still get a fee on it and everything like that. So I do, yes. Invoicing's a lot easier. I haven't had one in a while. I just had a guy buy actually a whole bunch of, I forget what it was, but it didn't come out that difference. Like he paid like $7, and with them all together was only because it never went up in weight, because they were very lightly, like all of them were light, so certain weight, and it was only like a $3 difference. So I actually didn't refund him because it was $3. And Drew, did you see Siggy's comment?
I did. I said
Okay.
I'd either get her email from Kat or.
Gotcha.
I told her to join my Facebook group. She says she doesn't have Facebook.
Yeah, Siggy emails me, so I can give you her email. So for me, I haven't up until the past week had a lot of combined sales, but like today we shipped out over 20 items on a Tuesday, which for us is amazing. And somebody bought like 7 Harley pens, 3 of my sterling rings. And so for that, they paid $45 in shipping, and it was a pound. So I refunded them $30 of that. So I kept some to cover the eBay fees for shipping, as well as like and Brad got mad at me because I put each pen in an individual jewelry box. He was like putting a few in like one big one. I'm like, no. So we like had it out about that today. I'm like, no. So if you get pens from me and they're not in individual boxes, I did not pack them. But so like the boxes are like 33 cents each. And so I did refund them. And then I had somebody else buy 2 rings, same thing, it put them like 2 rings are still only 4 ounces. So I refunded that as well. So I have, and I threw it away, but I have like my Post-it pad here. And when I'm shipping, I'll make a note of the combined orders and how much I need like to refund them, because you don't want to refund them before you ship, because it will take it out of your list to ship thinking you canceled the order. So I write my list down and then I refund them after. But if they message me, I tell them, do not pay. Let me send you a combined invoice. And I would prefer to do it that way. So I will, especially with the stuff that is going first class, I definitely will send them a combined invoice on that. Like the Harley pins, I could probably send, I would say like 5 or 6 and still stay under £1, even with the boxes and everything. So with that, I wouldn't, I would still just charge them probably like $6 for shipping and not worry about the overage. Juan Osorio, how do you determine as a new seller when to do international shipping or when not to offer it?
I offer it on anything that is priority mail or first class. No FedEx, US, UPS. It's just too much hassle. I used to. I've shipped DVD VCR combos and stereo units. 40-pound stereo head unit. I've shipped internationally, but I as a reseller, as who I am, I feel more obligated to pack it better because I don't know what port it's going to. I don't even know what country it's going to most of the time. So I just don't trust the shipping even more than I don't trust the shipping. So I end up spending a lot more time, a lot more supplies. And so now I've just reduced that to only priority and only first class items.
And I just do global shipping program. I think I might have had international on some of my listing at some point. And it's not really that I just don't like international. It's more I'm just lazy and I just put global shipping program on and I haven't taken the time to like think it through. And I know some people have like certain countries set up, like I'll ship it only to these countries and not to these countries. And basically I feel like I need to do a little bit more research before I turn international on. And so for now, I just put global shipping on, and then I make international sales through that sometimes, but I know they pay a ton in shipping when it sells through that program. But I like, though, that if it sells through that program, you're basically covered as long as it gets past Kentucky, that eBay will kind of have your back on the sale. So yeah, I do international, but only global shipping program right now, and not because I really don't like international shipping, just because I haven't researched it enough to feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I do global shipping program, and I basically will put everything on there that I think can be sent like globally. Like it's not going to be stopped in Kentucky. A couple things been stopped in Kentucky, and I was like, that makes total sense why you would stop that. But because they actually should block it. You shouldn't be able to do it if it is like a banned item going to a different. But sometimes they don't. But if like in your brain, if you're like, I don't know if I can send this overseas, you probably shouldn't like put on global shipping because they'll stop it. But you still get your money because it's their fault. But yeah, I do everything. I do, but I only do global shipping.
I know the big things as far as not shipping globally: lighters, knives, perfume are 3 big things that cannot go overseas. And guns. eBay with lighters will stop you. I know because I tried to turn on global shipping on a Zippo yesterday and it said and wouldn't let me. So I use standard international for anything $50 and less because it is a way lower cost to my buyer. I don't exclude any countries, and pretty much any inventory that's allowed goes standard. And I get a lot of standard international sales that way because like Canada is willing to pay $10 to $13 for a lot of stuff that they can't get. And then if it's over $50, I do global shipping just because there's added protections, even though it costs the buyer more. I had somebody want an $800 figurine that wanted me to ship it direct, and I told him no. I said with that value, and I told them for their protection and mine, like if it gets damaged, they would be covered, I would be covered, and I could have made an $800 sale if I was willing to ship direct, but I was not. So when it comes to the higher dollar stuff, I would recommend doing global, but I know not everybody has access to global shipping. I don't know what like the qualifications are. So if you don't have access to that, I would do standard international and just stick to like, and when I say $50, I mean, my cost $50. So I will do some like $100, $150, $200 stuff if I know I'm not going to lose more than $50. So that's kind of my cutoff for it. Miss Patricia says, coming up on 300 listings and I don't have an inventory system. Where do I start?
About 250 listings ago.
True.
I would just however you have it currently stored, just start on one side, look up if you have two people, it'd be best because you could go item so and so, they look it up, go down, put in a custom SKU, and relocate that item by item until it's done. It's gonna be a pain, but it will be worth it. You won't lose your items. You'll find them faster from now on, and you'll just do it going forward. So it's not. It will be tedious and a pain, but I do a full inventory of my store every year, and I always terribly dread it. But it usually with me and my girlfriend, we tag team. It usually takes us a couple hours. It's boring and not enjoyable, and I don't look forward to it. But it's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, I have similar advice. Just get it done. 300 isn't too bad. Like, it shouldn't be too terrible to do. And look up your item. If you have tub A, put 20 items in tub A, go to each one and just put tub A in the SKU. And then when it sells, at least now you only have 20 to look through instead of 300. Mine is more particular. I have a spreadsheet with a description of every item, where I bought it, how much I paid, and then a specific SKU number. But I don't think you need to go that far. You can do something more simple that will get you what you need.
Yeah, take it from me. I have 1,800 or 1,900 listings, and I have a horrible inventory system. It's all up here in my noggin, and horrible way to do it. So anything, if it's on a shelf, if it's something, just like with 300, you're still salvageable. You can do it. Do it in a couple, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. It takes you all day. It's well worth it. And then stick to it. Make sure you continually do that and make it just part of your routine when you list. Okay, this goes in on shelf mailbox or B or shelf red or something. Give it names.
Yeah.
And then boom, do that and you're good to go. But stick with it. And because in the end, if you start growing and getting 500, 600, 700, 1,000, it is well worth the time now to go back and do it all.
Yeah, and I probably started mine about 300. And mine, just like Julian says, like it'll say desk on shelf. And I have some that say, because I have an old canning kitchen that has a stove that doesn't work, it says canning kitchen in the stove. So as long as you mark it where you know where it is, what I do now is I'll list stuff and then I put it in the cart. And when I take it out, I mark all of it as I'm putting it up. And I bring my laptop because I was searching with my phone and it took forever. So now I bring my laptop and like my newest listings are at the top. So I just go through as I put them away and they're piled from the newest, on top. And that makes it pretty easy. And as far as the older stuff, like Amber said, you could go through a bin and put them. I will, if I notice something doesn't have a SKU, I might go look for it. And, one of my big things with sending offers is I make sure it's marked because I don't want to send an offer on an item that I'm like, where is that? So when I go to send offers, if there's an item not marked, I go find it, mark it, and then I send the offer. So I think that's a good place to kind of start doing it as well. Rating Retro NC, if you couldn't sell your top categories, what would you shift to?
Oof. A 9 to 5. It would be difficult. I'd probably have to, I mean, clothes, just because I don't sell clothes and I know I could. It's readily available for most people to find clothes. But I sell almost no clothes. So that would be something I could rotate into.
And mine is opposites because my top categories are clothing and shoes. And I would probably just go to the outlet more and just look through the non-clothing and shoe bins more. Because I started doing that actually when I go to the outlets now. I usually look through the non-clothing and shoe bins, and it's really fun. And so I'm kind of already transitioning. I have been to other categories, so it wouldn't be too difficult for me because I'm already kind of doing that anyways.
I would probably switch. It's going to be weird, but I'll probably switch to like glass. And I don't like glass, but there is a lot. Like when I go to yard sales, I'm just thinking I'm passing up $100 bills here because we have where I live in Myrtle Beach. So it's growing very exponentially. People are moving down here. They're moving from up north. And they're usually the, older generation. And they come down here and they brought all their stuff. And they're like, I got room for all this stuff. I don't want it anymore. And you see tons of like old glass and all this stuff at the yard sales. Zero idea what I'm looking at. So if like sporting equipment stopped, I would go straight into that because I know there's an abundance of it here because I see it every day there, and it looks good. I don't know what I'm looking at though. Might be nothing. But.
Yeah, I don't know that I have top categories because I pretty much sell everything. So I could like switch at the drop of a hat. I would probably say clothing because I do have access to a lot of it cheap. When I went to Birmingham, the clothing thrifting in Birmingham, Alabama was insane. I like still have it in my head. I might make a 3-day trip to Birmingham just to source clothing because it was that like I found that much stuff that's been selling really well as it's getting listed. So for me, clothing is one of my lesser that I like to do, but if that's all I can find, like when I was in Birmingham, I had a trip to pay for. So I was like, I'm going to find money here to flip to pay for this trip. And that's why I came home with a ton of clothing. But if I'm choosing, I do not choose clothes a lot. So I would probably do that. Aunt B wants to know when you were out, what snacks do you take with you?
Oh yeah.
None, and then I come back grumpy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I don't really take snacks with me usually. Like if we're going on a big garage sale day, like part of the day for me is going out for like grab breakfast on the way. We have this gas station called Casey's in Iowa. And so they have really good breakfast pizza. So like chocolate milk and breakfast pizza on a garage selling day is how I like to start off my day. And then, yeah, I guess usually like I said, we'll go out somewhere if it's like a long day of sourcing. So yeah, that's my answer.
Snacks. I got a lot of them. Always going to be hitting a C4 energy drink. The Starburst is my favorite right now. Always some sort of Slim Jim or like turkey jerky or something. That's always in the mix. Some sort of cracker. Always a big fan. And then definitely on yard sales days, if Kayla's with me, we are stopping at Dunkin' Donuts. We used to be big Starbucks fans. We switched to Dunkin' Donuts because there's a new one down the street. I'm serious about my food.
Sorry, somebody was emailing me about Tennessee, so I was like, I'm always multitasking. If you guys don't know me and don't know that by now, I'm always like all over the place. I typically don't go out for very long, so I like tomorrow I will probably stop and get lunch. So I'll probably eat breakfast before I leave, stop and get lunch, and then I'll be home before dinner time. So I'm not a big snack person. Let me see.
Julian snacks like a 16-year-old.
Oh yeah. I'll get so mad, and Kayla and I know, like she gets just as hangry.
You get hangry?
Like, oh yeah. We have to have snacks in the car. Have to. So it's a must.
Joy, to say you only ship USPS, that's an option you choose on eBay. Like if you do calculated, if you do free, any of the options, you're the one that chooses. Is it going UPS? Is it going USPS or FedEx? So that's something that you choose when you're listing your item. When listing items, do you check prices or go from memory on previous listings?
I check prices 100% of the time, unless there's like the rare time where I have two of the exact same thing and I list them within a reasonable amount of time where my memory functions, then that. But if I have any doubt, I'm looking it up again. It doesn't take long enough for me to care to just real quick look.
It depends on the item. Like there's certain clothing items that I don't look up. Miss Me jeans. I've sold so many pairs of Miss Me jeans. I don't usually look them up anymore. I guess maybe I still would. It depends on what style they are. But definitely what I've been listing lately, I'm looking up everything because it's a wide variety of items I've never listed before. And so I do a little bit of research before I list.
I look up every item, I would say. Because I could have just sold a golf club, like the same golf club, and I buy another one at the yard sale. I'm like, maybe it went up in value. Maybe it went down in value. But I look up every one.
Yeah, so for me, the only ones I don't look up are like my linens because I'm pretty much pricing them like offhand anyways. So like with my handkerchiefs and like Some scarves I will like, especially non-branded, I will price according to like the pattern on it, like how much details in it. So stuff like that I do not look up, and I love because I can like fly through drafts if my listers do those. But everything else I look up because the market can change so much, you know, like the market can change really, really fast, up or down. So I would recommend, unless you sold it last week or a couple weeks ago, I would look it up again.
Yeah, to add on that, because
Okay.
somebody could have came in and listed 20 more of them since the last time you even
Right,
checked.
and it
So the
drove
market
it
can really
down.
change.
Hey.
There's your question, Amber. You could have
Okay,
just like
we made it.
interrupted. It's okay. Okay, what's your question? Show us your
Okay.
stuff. I'm gonna make you big.
Okay,
You're
sounds
big.
good.
Show us what you
So-
got.
So I bought a couple auction lots. There was one item in each lot that I wanted. And then of course they come with tons of other stuff. And so I pulled out some items that I knew were worth listing. But then I have this item that I have no idea what to do with, whether I should just donate it and get rid of it or if I should take the time to list it. So yeah, I'm seeing if anybody has advice. And Kat, I know you buy lots of random lots of stuff. And yeah, it is this thing. And it's super heavy, which is why I'm like, I need to decide if it's worth listing or not.
Did you
Definitely
try Google Lensing it? Can you
Yeah,
find
Google
something
Lens it.
similar?
There's nothing on Google Lens. There's no markings. It's 17 pounds.
But it's
It's
got
real
how
wood.
many heads? 3? Does it have
4.
3 heads or 4?
4 heads.
So I would, let me pull you out. I would look up like called 4-head. That's what I would start with, because that thing
Totem?
might be worth a couple $100.
That's why I don't know if it's worth nothing or if it's worth.
Oh, I'm
$200.
listing that thing high.
Oh,
That thing's
it's-
made of
it's-
real
It's
wood.
definitely worth something.
I would
Yeah.
list it. I would list it and put like 4-head,
What are
like
their eyes made out of?
360 carved.
Is
They
it
just
mirror?
have mirror stickers, don't they? That's what it
What's
looks
that?
like.
Is that actual mirror?
Yeah, what's in their eye?
Their
It's
eyes.
not a sticker. It's definitely not a sticker.
It's like an
Yeah, I'll
inside
try to
of
get
like
closer.
some
It's
sort of.
heavy. I told you guys, 17 pounds. It's not easy to
Is
move
that
around.
pearl?
We need to figure out what the eyes are. Does it look like shell?
Yeah, like some sort of shell.
That's what somebody else asked me.
It might be abalone, mother of pearl.
That's what it looks like.
I would list it, Amber. I
Oh,
would
yeah.
list it for like a couple $100 if it were me, plus shipping. Plus shipping.
Okay, there's no markings
You're
though.
paying. I'm not paying.
Actually- Do you have like a local like antique type shop of any kind? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's the type of thing they're gonna put for $450, $500 in an antique
Oh,
shop.
yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you can walk in and say, "Hey, you want this for $100?" That saves you all the hassle and
that's
you're good
true.
to go.
I get to give it a try at least, and they see what they say. And if they seem excited
Yeah.
about it, cool. And if they're like, "That's worth,"
Then you just walk back out.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you're
I
excited, be
think-
like, "Oh, I got something here." See you later.
Yeah.
I think they're mother of pearl. Like I would
That's what
put
I
mother
think
of
too.
pearl, like
Okay.
inlaid eyes, hand carved. And I would, like I said, I would put like 460 head or 360, 4 head or 4 faces, put both. And I would price it high. I saw somebody and I lost the question. I was going to click on it. Somebody asked like how to join Patreon, which I don't have a Patreon. I'm assuming you mean like the channel memberships. And there should be a join under any video, including this one. But iPhone and YouTube don't get along. So if you're on an iPhone or an iPad, you have to go to a desktop. Android users can join channels from their phones and from tablets, but iPhone does not like to let people join the membership except like at all. You can view membership stuff after you join, but you have to join from an actual desktop. So it should say join, and then there's 3 different levels, and I talk for like a minute and tell you about the different like of it. Let's see. Now I went backwards looking for it, and now I like lost where I was. Hold on, I will figure it out. So Marcus, for listing fees for those who have a store, there are like, I don't pay any. I can have up to 10,000. I pay $60 a month for up to 10,000, and like I'm up to 4,500. And I think the overage depends on your store level. Like if you go over your allowed listings, it goes from I think like 20 cents down to maybe 5 cents with like the highest level store. But you get like for your store level, you get, you know, X amount of listings for that. Miss Cece, what gets you most excited to find in the wild? That's a fun question.
Ooh, for me, it's probably nostalgic stuff from my childhood. So action figures, video games, things like that. Just because it's just fun to have them back in my hands, even if it's only for a little bit. Or if I get to test a system and play a game I haven't played in 20 years, that's kind of fun. But the market's very flooded in a lot of that, so the prices aren't as good as they used to be. And there's a ton of them out there, but it's just kind of fun to you know, flash back to a Motu Master of the Universe action figure or something that I used to have and go, oh, I had one of these.
I'm trying to think back on my most recent adrenaline rushes, like what caused them when I was outsourcing. I think the ones that come to mind were shoes, where I know a pair of shoes is worth good money and I see it from afar. Like there was a garage sale I was walking up and I saw a pair of like ankle height pink Doc Martens looking in great condition from a while away. They're like hot pink. And my heart started racing. I went up there like $5. I was like, okay, this is the easy $60, $70. Things like that, where I just see an item I know I'm going to make $40, $50 on it. Those make me excited. And usually those are shoes, because those are the category I feel most confident in, and I can see far away the brand before I even get to the item.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, because I don't really like, unless it's, I've actually never found like real vintage Jurassic Park like shirts or anything like that. That would make me super excited. But I usually, if I can spot something from the road that I know is worth money, for instance, out yard sale the other day on Saturday, Mac trucks have a really nice ashtray where the Mac Bulldog is sitting up, and it's chrome. It's a very nice looking ashtray. I've sold them for like 60, 70, 80 bucks, depending on condition. There's also one that he has a gold collar around his neck that goes for even more money. And I saw it just gleaming in this guy's little on his table, and I was like, I got this. Pull the car up, run up there. He wants 30 bucks for it, and I was like, let down. But it was like, it got my adrenaline rush because I was like, I know that thing is worth some money. Like if that thing, I was like, let it be $1. Please let it be $1. It's 30 times that amount. So
throwing elbows.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, if I can see it, it gets you. You know, I'm like, I get excited.
So for me, I think lately with all of these like research videos, like I want to find this high dollar stuff. Like I spent a ton tonight on teacups, and I found one worth over $500. So I think that's my thing. And I don't know if Mary's in the chat. Mary Garcia, who I chat with, she's one of my members. She found multiple glassy babies that sell for hundreds of dollars at an estate sale. I have never seen nor held a glassy baby. I would love to find a glassy baby. So that would make me super happy. Or like I said, so when I'm doing these research videos, like I haven't sought out teacups in a very long time. And now I'm like, I need teacups. So when I do these videos, the same thing with jewelry, I go research it. And then I'm like, I need to find this stuff. So for me, it would be that stuff. Emily, do I have any special speakers? I do have one, and I'm not announcing just in case they have a change of plans, because they have something that could come up. They have let me know. And I have one other that I'm really hoping can make it, but we're unsure until like the last minute. So I possibly have two, but I think I definitely will have one at least. And I thought about also, if I don't have any that are able to come, I might do lives and have them broadcast and maybe ask a couple people to appear that way for me. So that's a possibility as well. And I saw like somebody was asking about Charlotte. So August 24th, FlipCon by Harry Tornado is going on in Charlotte, North Carolina, and Phoenix Resale. And I will be a speaker at that. So I'm going to that as well. But that one's totally separate from my event. Miss Anita, yes. Expenses for training are 110% tax deductible. That's for your business, to increase your business. That is tax deductible. Carolyn wants to know, if you have an item you cannot find a comp for, do you make up your own price or do you auction it?
I do almost zero auctions. I only do auctions if I want it gone and I don't care how much money I get for it. Like, as in, if it sells for a penny, I'll still ship it out and I don't care. So I never do auctions. It's if I'm sick of looking at something, or I don't know. I'm just good at comps. I usually will find something. You don't have to find the exact same thing to make a comp. You just have to find something like Amber's statue. If she can't find that one, you'd compare it to other wooden statues, other totems.
Like similar. Like I would put the height
Yes.
too, Amber. Like put the height of that and like carved wood statue and the height.
Yep.
17 pounds.
Very heavy.
Yeah.
But durable, so you'd be okay.
Yeah, and clearly made of real wood because it's so heavy. If I can't find a comp for it. Okay. I have run auctions a couple times for things I couldn't find comps for, but I start them high thinking, at least they're going to sell for this if they get a bid, but then I know I didn't price it too low. So sometimes if I think I know a price in my head, I'll just do an auction at that price to see, is that too low? And if I get a bid on it, then, and it gets bid up, then at least I got the price I was thinking to start it at. So I think I talked about this last time I was on the show, but I'll give the examples again. I had a vintage yellow cardigan, and it's just a vintage cardigan, but I could see that someone else had one listed for like $250, but then they're also sold for like $20. And so I didn't know if I should price it with this person or if they were just crazy, or if I should price it with these other people sold it for like 20. So I listed it on an auction at like 90 or 100 just to see. And I got one bid and it sold for the 90 or 100. And I was happy with that. Like it sold in like a week and I got the 90 or $100, and I didn't list it super low with the other sold. So I will do that sometimes again if I, like in this example where I see one listed for really high, but then I see some sold for really low. I'll just try it maybe on auction at a higher price and see what happens.
I'll tell you this, since I've been using WorthPoint, and I've been doing, not a big advocate of it, but I will find something very close
It
to
really
it.
is helpful. Like it's super helpful.
Until you don't have it, and then you have it, and then you start using it. It is like I use it every day. I use it literally every day, and I'll get something close. If not, say like if I had that statue, the one thing, and I couldn't find it, if a smaller one went for this much, I would just like times it by whatever it was, and then that's what I would put it on for, and be like, that sounds good to me. Because if there's no markings or stuff like that, so that's basically how I do. If I can't find it, I get to the closest thing next to it, and then I just adjust the price there. Sometimes I'll run an auction, but I'm starting that thing super high.
Yeah, and WorthPoint is excellent. It has 10 years of eBay history on it. So I use it every day, multiple times a day. Like I'm looking at these online auctions with high price stuff. I'm looking on WorthPoint to comp the stuff and see what it sold for. Because and it's almost over. I have a lot of Yadro that there are none listed and none sold on eBay. So I have to go to WorthPoint. I'm not just going to make up a price. Now, if it's not on eBay or WorthPoint, that's when I would look similar. So like Amber's statue, I would put 17-inch wood carved statue and just see what came up, and I would scroll and see if I saw something similar, and then I would price close to that. And then like my hankies and linens, they're vintage, they're handmade. I'm not going to find the same one. Like I never will, they're one of a kind. So those I have kind of my own pricing strategy. Like I price 15 if it's plain, I price 20 if it's a little bit fancier, and 25 if it's really fancy. And that's like my set price that I do, and I get them for $1. So I'm okay with like $1 into 15, 20, 25 bucks. And that's how I do it. But WorthPoint is amazing if you're finding one-off stuff. And like, if you want to know if you'll use it, you can search and see if it's there. You just can't see the sold price. So like use it without seeing the price and see if you could find the stuff that you're looking for to see if it's actually worth it. Miss Judy became a member. Thank you so much. Here is your dolphin.
Welcome to the flipping family.
And then Miss Siggy, how are my special air? So my air pillows are not air pillows. My air pillows are foam. They're Instapack. from American Bubble Boy. And honestly, with a lot of this stuff I'm getting, I'm only getting it because I know I have Instapack to pack it in, because like a $600 Yadro is small enough to go in a box, but I wouldn't feel comfortable with it just bubble wrapped. So I'm like, okay, if I make $400 in profit, I'm okay paying $10 for Instapack, but absolutely nothing has been broken or damaged using them. I don't get a lot of damage anyways because I use tons of bubble wrap. That's why I like American Bubble Boy. So I had a box almost crushed 2 weeks ago and the glass piece survived, and it was only a 6x6 box. So they only for higher profit because they cost about $3 to $10 each, and you need 2 per box. So you better have a high profit if you're gonna put an Instapack into that box. I don't know if Richard or Mark saw this. I do have a link for my jewelry boxes. Actually, on my Amazon store, I have recommendations just for jewelry because I was doing it so much a year and a half ago. I have a category specifically for jewelry with like listing stuff, with shipping stuff, the little jewelry boxes I send in. So all of that is there. We're getting hit with cat questions. In reference to your high price teacup video, would those require a signature? I believe the cutoff for eBay is $700 or $800, where eBay forces you to get a signature. For me, if it were over $500, I would get a signature. That would kind of be my line, would be $500. And guys, if you like the teacup video, I have a teapot one coming out tomorrow and it is an hour long. It is already uploaded because I knew I had to run around to auctions tomorrow. So if you like the teacups, I think one went for over $7,000 for one teapot. So pretty impressive research video coming tomorrow, and it took forever. And I started at $300, $300 bucks. I already answered this because I said I'm speaking at FlipCon. Is anybody else going to FlipCon in Charlotte?
Nope.
So I don't know if you saw my video, but I'm pregnant. So it's like, I think a month before I'm due or something. So I'm not going to go.
Well, congratulations. I saw all the comments, but I did not see your video.
Yeah. So I'm doing it's in August, right? FlipCon.
It's August 24th. Yeah.
Yeah, which is just a couple weeks before I'm due, so I'm not going.
Yeah, no. I know I wanted Katie and Tay to come to my camp, and my Orlando one was right before Katie was due, and then my Tennessee have a newborn, which congrats to Katie Reeds and Prison to Profit, by the way, on their gorgeous baby. So I get that. Richard says, I don't have to answer, but I'm going to answer anyways because not everybody knows me as well as you do, Richard. How long has everyone been reselling?
Full-time, 2 years. Just as, every once in a while, probably 5 years. But I'm from a garage sale family. So, I've been going to garage sales since I was able to complain about going to garage sales.
And I actually got a message on my phone today, like, look at these pictures from 4 years ago. And it was when I went to this sale and bought a ton of stuff. Like I bought like 100 items at that sale. So at least 4 years I've been reselling. I think I started maybe 6 months before that. So like 4.5 years around there. And yeah, same like garage sales our whole life. I remember the first time I ever got a brand new clothing item because we didn't buy anything new. So I remember it distinctly.
I've actually only been reselling for I think this is going on 3 years now. And I really never did it beforehand. I never went to yard sales maybe like once or twice with my mom, like back in the day, and I never really went to thrift stores. And then all of a sudden, I dove in and I was like, this stuff is awesome. Why don't more people do this? And then I was hooked. And then now I'm here 3 years later.
And I have been selling off and on eBay since the 90s, but I would buy stuff at Sam's and resell it at middle school. So really for a very, very long time. And this go round though, as far as my store and the items I have, I'm coming up on 3 years that I've been reselling, to build to where I'm at now. Cindy wants to know, do you have a billboard for your store? If so, how did you set it up? And do you believe it helps with sales? I think she means the banner on top of the eBay store, like the graphics on top of your eBay store.
Yeah, I have like, I know I went in there recently just to kind of tinker around because I know like my top display pictures, my top items had sold, so I needed to redo it. And they've done with a new update, they added some things that it's a lot of bells and whistles that I just was like, no, thank you. But I have like a basic one. It's a picture of a local lake.
I don't think I have mine set up at all. On Poshmark, I just have like a purple background. Like I remember when I set it up, you know, like 4 or 5 years ago, whatever. I just put literally like a purple square or a rectangle or whatever. But eBay, I don't have anything set up.
Mine is. I laughed about the lake things. Mine's like water and grass. I don't even know.
Generic image.
Yeah, it's just water and grass, like wherever that is.
And I have one, but I don't think it helps. Like I think it looks more professional, but I don't think it helps you get more sales. And I only did mine because I think I did it when I did like the intro you guys see like to this show and the ending that I do, because I was just like, I learned how to edit and I knew how to do more things. So I use Canva, and Canva has the layout for like a banner, and you can actually do it pretty easy with Canva. Carol wants to know on eBay, how can I find out which of my listings I created is calculated? I want everything flat rate. So I don't know that you can search for them like that, but you can edit them all to the same if you're going to. So you can do a bulk edit really easy and edit them all to flat rate. You wouldn't know which ones you were doing, but it would do like all of them at one time. Let's see.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, no, I haven't. So if you guys don't know, Ann Eckhart, she's another YouTuber reseller, and haven't run into her. She lives in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, which is about 2 hours from Des Moines, where I live at. So we haven't run into each other yet. And she also goes to pretty much, or she used to anyways, just go to estate sales. And I pretty much go to like Goodwill Outlet, garage sales. So we kind of go to different areas too, even if we were in the same city.
That makes sense. Chris Blair wants to know, how do you decide what to auction and what to buy it now? And I think we've kind of covered it like back and forth.
Funny story. I got real excited because I got recognized for the first time. So he's like, "Oh, you're on YouTube, da 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 da," and they literally thought I was Julian. They said this. They're like, "I know somewhere," and I was like, "Well, I'm from the area, you know, I grew up around here. I do have a YouTube channel." And she's like, "Julian." I'm like, "No."
Like same beard, just different.
Yeah, I had actually just cut my hair, so I was real tight on top. So I was like, no, that's a letdown.
That's funny.
When I've gone out to Denver a couple times thrifting, and there people come up all the time and say hello. And then in Iowa, it never happens. So I'm like, do people in Iowa not? Like, is there not resellers out as much? Or do they see me and just don't say anything? Like, I don't know. What's the accurate answer?
Did anyone like, so I don't
answer
know
that
if we got like
off track. I know.
We've been talking about it, and Chris posted this, and you might have heard us talking about it. Like, I list 90% on buy it now. I would only auction if it's super popular, super rare, super in demand. You have even if you have the only one, if it's not a popular item, it doesn't matter. And always start your auctions at the lowest you're willing to take. I don't know if anybody, like, do you have any other key things that you would use to decide?
Yeah, that set in the bottom, because for me, when I start an auction, I started at a penny, and I'm willing to take that penny if it sells for that. And so whatever you set it at, you have to be willing. So if it sells for your first bid, then that should have been your bottom line.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I've rarely done auctions. And the example I gave, again, was where there was solds of similar items for like 20, but someone had it listed for like 250. And I was like, who's right? Is the $20 person the 250? So I put it
somewhere
on
in the middle.
Yeah. So again, I put it on auction like 90 or 100 just to see if it was worth that much. And again, it sold. So I rarely do auctions, but every once in a while I do.
I do a lot of auctions also when it comes to like lots of things. Like if I have a lot of tools or something, I'll lot all like the sockets together, all the extensions and stuff like that. If they're not worth a whole bunch like individually, more than like $5 a piece, and then I'll do that, and then that will be pretty much out. And I use it as a junk drawer lot, and then I just fill up pad it. It's usually a medium box, so the shipping is going to be flat rate, and then I put it on there, and I don't care what it goes for. I usually start them at like $5 because I don't really care. And I just need it gone.
Yeah.
Like, they can have it. They can clean them up. They can resell them. Because sometimes they're actually, like the last one I just did, I sold for like $30, but I have so many small tools. And I was like, let's get it out of here. Sold for 30. I made the $30. I was already in the profit. And that person could probably clean them, flip them, and probably literally make like $150. But I have so many small tools that it's insane.
Time to move them.
Time to move
Yeah. Yeah, for like it's crazy though. You never know what they're gonna do. So like I'm the same way. If it's stuff I want to like get rid of too, I will do it. If you guys heard all the beeping and noticed my computer kept beeping saying USB has too much power, and I just had to unplug one of my lights. So that is what all the beeping was, if you guys heard it. Luana says, I can't seem to find Google Lens. Does it have another name? I know on iPhone, I think it's built into the browser.
Just open Google.
Here, I'm going to make Amber big so she can show you.
Yeah, so here, I'll go back. So you just go into the Google app and then click on the camera button right here. And then it will just take a picture of whatever. So with like the wooden guy, you can take a picture of him and then it'll search then to try to find similar listings, which, like I said, it doesn't find a match for this one.
Yeah, and on Android it is an actual app, but iPhone has it built into the browser. So like iPhone people don't need the app.
Which if eBay wants to add something that's helpful, integrate that into their system. How amazing would that be?
They have it. It's back. They have
really?
it. Yeah, let me show you. No, look.
Right.
Hold on, so look, see the camera?
Yeah.
You just take a picture of stuff.
And it will look it up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let me try
Really?
It was gone for a while, but now it's back.
My life just changed.
James wants to know if any of us have he found a brand new Coleman, but it has permanent marker. I use on together like Google on a Clorox wipe, and it takes off almost everything, or magic eraser. Do you guys use anything else?
There is on certain surfaces, so it I'm not saying do it, but I know you can take a marker, draw right over top of it, and then it will wipe away. You take like a dry erase marker and you just fill in the whole area, and then it'll wipe away. But it's all very surface condition sensitive. So I've failed on certain things and I've been successful on things I didn't think I would be. So
yeah. All right. Now, I am putting this up, Carol, because I'm going to tell you in my eBay store review. So Carol's saying she wanted to switch everything to flat rate shipping. So I would say if you're doing like a flat rate of like $5 for first class or padded envelopes, then yes, that will be beneficial. But I have seen people, if you're talking about medium and large flat rate boxes, a lot of times it's going to be cheaper for your buyers to go calculate it, and you're going to lose sales. And I found somebody that like it was showing like $17 on all this stuff that I knew calculated would be like 10. So be very, very careful when you're doing that. You could be hurting yourself immensely. I don't know what kind of flat rate you're talking about, but medium and large flat rate boxes, like 9 times out of 10 cost more than calculated. So be very, very careful with that. I just want to say that before you go switching everything up. Just if it's small first class or padded flat rate envelopes, we're not talking about breakables, then that's okay. But otherwise, it might hurt you. This is a good question. Has anyone raised the price on an item that is not selling and then it sells?
No. How do you get that to work?
I've heard people say that, but to me it seems like some kind of logical fallacy. Like, why would that work? But I guess maybe it makes people think
It does
it's
sometimes.
desirable. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe on rarer items. I feel like if you have a pair of, I don't know.
Yeah, I've never tried it. It says that it does work. If you can bulk edit all of them and raise them by like 2 cents, hey, then you're talking something. But I've never like raised something significantly and then it's so.
Amber, did you see this comment?
Nice.
See?
Okay, I'll list it
Hello?
high. We'll see what happens.
$400 easy, especially with the eyes.
I'm
How
saying
do you
4.
guys feel confident, like especially Kat, when you're listing all these rare items? Like people are saying
Because I sell them for it. Because I sell them for it.
Yeah,
They're not.
I'm afraid to list it, and then the person's like, "This is not what you said it was." Like this type of wood.
I don't think that way. I just run.
Gotcha.
And I haven't had issues. Yeah. Margaret, to find the Seller Hub, if you don't have a store, I think if you Google eBay Seller Hub, it'll pull it up. You have to turn it on though. And somebody told me you had to have a store to have it, but I'm not 100% sure. Panther Pack, I don't know the way. They're asking how to charge the customer the same price as it costs you, but I'm going to say I would not recommend that because you have to pay for your boxes, you have to pay for your tape, you have to pay for your bubble wrap, and eBay takes 10 to 12% of what you paid for shipping. So if you give them that at their price, you're going to be losing money on every item you ship. So just keep that in mind. Glenn wants to know if anybody's ever found Golden Goose shoes. I don't know what Golden Goose shoes are.
No clue what that is.
They're really expensive shoes that look dirty on purpose. And no, I definitely have not found them, but I know what they look like. And if I saw them at a garage sale, I'd be running.
Now I got to look them up. I don't even know what they are.
Yeah, they're like sneakers and they purposely look dirty. The style.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, should share an image so people.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you getting one, Amber?
Yep, I'm getting one.
Real quick, Resells, how to start on Etsy. I just signed in and clicked to start a store. I'm not very versed on Etsy. I don't think anybody else on the panel is on Etsy, but I mean, just go to Etsy.com, sign up and go. But Etsy is honestly the lowest of my platforms as far as selling on. I'm not a giant fan of Etsy because you have to pay 20 or 30 cents per listing per 30 days. And there's no, you can't get a store to have a certain amount. So that's that's why I don't cross post everything to Etsy. That's the only platform I don't, because of that reason. All right, Amber, do you have it?
Yep.
That's what we're working with.
So here's a picture. You see how the bottoms look dirty? That's intentional.
I would scrub them.
I'll grab another one up. Pull another one
I'd probably ruin them by scrubbing them.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too.
Pair sold for $160.
What?
Yeah. So they're like sneakers and they generally purposely look dirty and they're supposed to be.
Well, now do not go cleaning those dirty sneakers if you find those, guys.
Yeah.
Do not
why?
Go cleaning them.
Couldn't you just wear them and then they'll be dirty?
Right.
They're not that brand.
Yeah, someone said those shoes are huge in LA. I think the trendy people
are wearing dirty looking shoes that aren't dirty. Okay.
People who work in an office but want to act like they have a farm job or something.
My shoes are just naturally dirty. Robin says, I sold something recently and had to cancel and refund the buyer because I couldn't find the item. Will I get a ding on my account? Absolutely. And if you're not a big seller, that one cancellation could cause you to go below standard. It's a big deal if you're a new seller to cancel. So I actually this week, eBay double listed it. I know it sold. It got double listed. I went and bought it from another seller and I paid more just because I didn't want the ding on the account. And then I just changed the ship to address to my buyer's address. So Yeah. Unless you're selling like 100, 150 items a month, I think you're probably going to take a pretty big hit and have a hole to dig out of with just one. Because I think it's like 1.5%. So if you've only sold 10, that's 10% cancellation rate, which is bad. So to everybody, I will see if I can find it and buy it from another seller, which is what I had to do yesterday on one item. And second option is I will offer them anything in my store up to, like, if it was a $15 item, I tell them I'll give them anything up to $25 and send it in place, or would they rather I cancel? And then at that point, if they say they would rather I cancel, then I choose that buyer chose to cancel. So that could very well hurt you. Miss Tina, how do I keep track of changes in category fees, and are the category fees less if you pay for an eBay store? I don't, and I don't care. To be bluntly honest, I have no clue because each category is different. I figure that I'm paying 20% in fees, which is a high estimate, but I am perfectly safe because they're like category, step category, like there are all these different fees built in. Plus I promote. So for me, and I tell new sellers too, figure 20%. You're going to be safe if you figure 20%. It's going to be less than that. And I don't think the fees are less. I think just the insertion fees are less. But like I do free 30-day returns and I'm a top rated seller. So I get 10% off my final value fees for doing free 30-day returns. That's a perk that eBay gives you. But I like, because people have asked me to do videos on that and it's like so complicated and changes all the time. Like I don't care enough to pay attention to it. Like I don't. And I sell in like so many different categories. If I was just selling shoes, I would probably know it. But like I'm all over the map. All over. Mom. Hold on. When you guys chat a lot, I have to scroll to find the questions. James wants to know, do we purge old inventory from time to time or hold it forever until it sells?
I have a garage sale once a year, and I'll pull out stuff that I just know it's time to go. Stuff. If I look through my store, I'll just scroll through and go, I would never list that. I don't know who listed that, but I would not do it. That's coming out. It's going in the garage sale, and if it makes it past that, it gets redonated.
So about a year and a half ago, I pulled like 30 items, and I kind of do it like for a video. I'll pull the worst stuff that's been sitting like for over a year, and then I'll try to sell it and use different methods. So that time I think I dropped all the prices by a certain amount for a certain amount of weeks. Then I dropped them again by a certain amount for a couple of weeks. And then once they're at like, listing at like only $8 or something, then I took them and I put them on eBay auction to see how many would sell. So I did it as a video, just like how much will sell with each step that I try. I think the first thing I did was sent out offers when they were at the original price. Then I dropped the price for a few weeks, dropped the price again for a few weeks, and then I did an eBay auction. And I'll probably do something similar again. I'm at the point now where I have probably 30 to 50, probably at least 30 that just nobody's going to buy unless I get rid of them, basically.
Yeah, I usually don't, but just recently for golf clubs, I did go through because I was learning them in the beginning. I've only been doing this for like 2.5, 3 years. And I went through and I think I delisted. We're having a churchyard sale like a month from now or something. And I delisted like, and they're decent. I mean, at $1, they'll sell at the yard sale, but they're just not going to sell online and they're not really worth my time. I have so many better ones now. So I came through and I delisted. I think it was 30 to 50. It was a lot. And it didn't even put a dent in how many that I have. So I'm actually probably going to do another round of that because I just bought a ton of other golf clubs. So I'll delist all the lower ones that I'm selling for like $10. I'll just get them out of there. And I want to up my golf club like average selling price to at least like $17.
Yeah.
I'm already in the good ones. Yeah. I'm not like really like losing any money, but
yeah, because they were in lots. Yeah, I have not. The only thing for me would be if I did run out of space. Right now, I have space in my inventory areas. I just need to list stuff and get it out of here. But if I had like so much listed and didn't have space, then I would probably start looking at the items that have been here the longest. But thus far, I have not done that. Starseed hologram. When you go to garage sales, how much cash do you bring for the day, and do you have a total price in mind that you try to abide by?
I seem to never bring enough, but I have done this multiple times because, like I said before, I live in a really small town. Just hey, give me 5 minutes. I got to run to the bank. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Whatever you think you're gonna need, bring twice as much. But I almost always run out of money, and there are not ATMs on every corner, so it's actually a big hassle.
Yeah, so I actually like this last winter. I guess it's just been a constant thing. If I get a 5 or a 1 or anything below a 10, it immediately goes into my garage sale pouch for like change to have at garage sales. But I went to a garage sale last weekend and I went to pay and realized all I had were 5s and 1s and I was spending $22 and I felt I don't know, like I like the small dollars. I had to give her all my small bills to pay. So I wished I had some bigger bills, whereas usually I'm wishing I had the small ones. But yeah, so usually probably I'll like if I'm going a whole day, I'll take $100 out, and that's usually enough. But I definitely don't have a total price in mind that I'm trying to abide by. Like if I'm spending a lot of money, that means that I'm finding some really good stuff. So I mean, I'm hoping I'm spending as much as possible because that means I found a lot of great stuff that day.
We spend a lot of yard sales, and it all depends on like last Saturday I knew there was going to be a lot, so I had a lot of money on me. But I would say I usually take no less than 500, but I usually have way more than that on me. So 500 is my minimum that I actually usually spend on a Saturday, and then I've had more money than that. Then Kayla's got money on her, and we've spent that. Then we'll have to Venmo people and stuff. So it's definitely. And I never carry all my money in like one spot. I always have it like some in the car, some in my bag, some in my sock. You don't want all that money in one spot because it's bad when you flip it out. You know, you're like, well, you take $20 and you flip out, like $500.
Will you take $10 for this out of 100?
Yeah. So definitely,
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't have like big bills on the outside or anything. Just makes it look a little funny. But yeah, I definitely carry because we hit a lot of yard sales on Saturday. I mean, if right now in this area, that's my main source of where I get all my inventory. I mean, yard sale season around here is insane. There's just so many. So yeah, definitely carry more than you think.
I was gonna say last summer, a lot of places had would take Venmo. So the ones I spent more on, I would ask them, like, do you have Venmo? So that probably helped me not need as much cash, is that a lot of places accepted Venmo.
Yeah, I keep seeing you guys saying my connection's bad. Like the internet the past few weeks out here has been like really wonky. I don't know why. I'm going to try and switch it here after I answer this question. But so for me, I normally bring either 200 or 400. Do I try and stick to it? No. If I need to go get more cash, I will. But I'm like Amber, if I'm spending a lot, even if I have cash, I will ask them like, can you take PayPal or Venmo so that I don't have to use my cash? And I like to go to a lot of estate sales. And typically the estate sales take cards. So I try not to use my cash as much as possible. And that helps for record keeping as well. If I'm able to use the card, then I will do it. But I normally like I said, it depends on how I feel. If I take out 200 or 400, like if I've seen a really good sale, I might even take out more if I've like seen pictures and I know I'm going to need a lot. But I don't like Amber said, if I don't have any limit, like if I'm finding good stuff, I'm going to buy it all. I'm going to answer this and then I was going to switch, but has anybody but me done Goodwill jewelry boxes? No. Okay. So I have not done them in over a year and a half, but I did have good luck. I found some amazing pieces and then it got kind of popular and prices started going high and I could find them other places. But I found a $400 Judith Lieber trinket box in a Goodwill jewelry lot 2 years ago. So I haven't looked on there in a long, long time as now, but it used to be that and it was the bigger the lot, the better chance you had of finding something hidden that they just like tossed a ton of stuff into it. So I would like to buy like the really, really big lots. Aunt B wants to know if we put thank you cards in our packages.
I do not.
I do in like maybe 20%. It's just how I'm feeling. basically, whether or not I put it in the package. And I just have like little pieces of paper, kind of. They look kind of cute, but I'll just write, "Thank you for your purchase, Amber," something like short. But yeah, I don't do it consistently, and there's no reason other than just sometimes I feel like it, sometimes I don't. If I know it's a viewer, then I definitely will. But otherwise, it's just depends on the day.
I really tried when I started, and I had them. I bought them from eBay, and they were very nice. And I was like, "This is gonna look awesome," and I'll put my name on them and stuff. And I never put them in the box, so I stopped doing that. I always get into like shipping mode, and and then I'll be like, and then the next one I got it, and I'll be like, after I'm done, like, So I just don't do it unless it's a viewer and they wrote me a message. I know it's a viewer. Then I definitely usually write them something on the box, in the
Amber,
box.
I see you moving. Is Julian frozen, or is he just frozen for me?
Just for you.
Oh, it's refreshing.
Oh, no.
Okay, you're all moving again.
Yeah.
I don't know if this internet's going to be better. I switched it over, and then like Julian and Drew were frozen, but I saw Amber moving. Sorry if I
We are
did. You
the same
finish
person,
answering,
so.
Julian?
Yeah. So no is my answer.
Sorry about my internet is really being wonky, and then this light's out. It's a little bit crazy. For me, I was the same as Julian. I bought them. I had the best intentions, but like we shipped out 40 packages yesterday. We sent out over 20 today, and we get in like we're packing. So for me, it's hard to even remember. Like I like to put in nurse flipper stickers for my subscribers. Like I had to rip one open today and retape it because I forgot. Let alone remembering like a thank you card in every box. So I do not. And honestly, when I get them in packages that I buy, all I do is throw them away. I don't care if people send them to me or not. Lacelle is asking, how would one start with reselling? I'm feeling very intimidated because of age and I'm not tech savvy. I want to start Etsy, but don't understand. I would say Etsy's probably not a good starting platform. I would recommend maybe trying Facebook Marketplace with shipping since you're writing us on Facebook. Facebook Marketplace shipping gives you 3 months with no fees, and it's really easy to list on there. And I would go search YouTube for like how to list on Facebook Marketplace. eBay is a beast. eBay is a little bit of a learning curve. So like just to get in the hang of things, I would try like Facebook Marketplace or even Poshmark. Poshmark's really easy as far as the shipping. It kind of makes it super simple. But I would search for YouTube videos on how to do that.
And either way, just start.
Don't know.
Because even if it's hard,
Y'all heard me.
it'll get easier. Good.
Yes.
No, Cat's
Heard.
frozen, right? Oh, he's back.
Did you hear anything I said?
Yes.
No.
And then you said, "Oh no," and then you left.
I don't. This is driving me.
We heard your advice to her.
Yes.
And then you
Okay,
closed.
good. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is going on? You were all frozen again. It's driving me crazy.
I'm just gonna start
Siggy,
messing with you
yes.
and pretending.
Yes, we were right at 600 a minute ago. So yeah. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you all being here and watching. Dom, Mr. Primetime Treasure Hunter, just told me that Julian. I hope it's not. Is it a secret? Never mind.
I don't think it's a secret. He didn't tell me it was a secret.
Julian's going on Primetime Treasure Hunter coming up in a couple weeks in May, guys. Once he gets back from vacation. So you guys will have to go watch. I believe that Dom has a live tomorrow night with another thrift battle with Yvonne Thrifty Rich. I believe I saw. So Dom, if you're still here, if you want to put that in, the thrift battle, I am in the final 8, I think. The final 8. Nice. I am getting down to the last steps.
They're always fun to watch.
Julian, where are you going on vacation?
We'll be in North Carolina.
Oh.
We're going trout fishing.
Gotcha. I'm going on vacation too next week. We're going to Spain. Nice. So I just had to check if we're going to the same spot in the world.
Did you say Spain?
Yeah, Spain.
No. Like I'm driving like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Julian's like,
yeah, no.
Do any of us have auction sites that specialize? Like if you found like they're using a real Jimi Hendrix or like, so do you have any other auction sites that you use outside of the regular platforms?
No.
I don't. I'm considering I have a bunch of movie posters from the 90s, so that one I'm thinking about getting on Whatnot, 'cause it seems like poster sales are more common there, but that's the only thing that comes to mind when I see this question. Otherwise, no.
No.
Yeah, I don't. I sell a lot of really specialized and high dollar stuff on eBay, and I'm comfortable putting it there, and I'm fine with it. Especially if I can see that it has sold on there before. Diane, how close will I come to California for class? You better go to Tennessee, because that's probably going to be it for a very long time. With Dalton starting school in August, I am going to Charlotte for FlipCon, and after that, it will probably be almost all Florida, because Dalton schooling is going to come first, which means I'm not going to be able to do weekends like further away. Tennessee wouldn't even be a possibility once he starts school. So Tennessee is probably it. Especially starting school is going to be a whole new world for me. I have no idea what it's going to bring, but it's going to definitely lessen like my traveling abilities. I am already like cringing at going to FlipCon and leaving for 3 days while he's in school, because that will be like his third week of school. And Brad, and I think he was in chat earlier. Brad said, I got it. And he does, like, Brad stayed home with him his whole life, but it's still like, I'm like, because I didn't think about that when I agreed to speak at FlipCon, but I'm not going to like say, never mind. I've already agreed to speak. If I had thought about it, I might not have done that. So, Debbie, yes, flat rate priority is that. It's the same price if you can fit it in, but if it's a lighter item, like if it's a 2-pound item, and you pay $15 for flat rate, calculated would probably be like 9 to 12. So you're paying more because you want to know just how much does it cost. So unless it's heavier, or the exception to that is padded flat rate envelopes. Those are always cheaper than the 2-pound rate. But other than that, a lot of those boxes, they cost a lot more. They do that. Now, if you have a 70-pound set of weights, put them in a flat rate box. Really, really heavy stuff would be the only time that would be advantageous.
Yeah, your regional boxes are going to be your better bet.
That we're undervaluing your carving, Amber.
Yep.
I'm undervaluing it. You guys are telling me the right value, it sounds like.
They're saying should be
I
higher.
think it's good, yeah.
Chris, I think you can. I think it's a drop down. Chris is asking if you can move something from Buy It Now to auction. I think it's a drop down. You can put relist as auction. I know you can do it to relist, like when an auction ends, you can put relist as fixed price. So hopefully you can do it the other way. I'm not a ton sure. Richard is saying, I don't know if you saw this in the chat. Richard is saying that for Seller Hub, you do have to have a store. Do any of us sell mystery boxes?
I do not, but I actually was just talking to a friend who happened chanced upon like 5+ storage units and like a couple garages, and he's going to start shipping me boxes of just the stuff he doesn't have time because he's got to process it quickly. So that's in the back of my mind, something I might do with it. It'll depend on what's in it, because I literally have no clue. I'm paying for the shipping and he's just sending it to me because he just has to get it somewhere. And he said, hey, I'd rather give it to you than donate it. If you just pay for the shipping, I'll start sending you boxes. So that's in the back of my mind, something I might do, but no, I've never done it before.
So I actually kind of have a long history with mystery boxes. My YouTube channel kind of got its start by reviewing reseller mystery boxes. So I would buy mystery boxes, unbox them, comp everything, and say how much I think the items would sell for. And I would say the moral of the story, after reviewing quite a few, is most of the time mystery boxes are not a good choice, because people are trying to get rid of stale inventory, or they've already picked out the really good stuff and they're just passing along the lower dollar items that they don't want to take time to list. Now, of course, that's not always the case, but that's generally the case. So I would avoid mystery boxes and go out and just learn by sourcing in the stores and seeing what you could find. So I don't sell them. I wouldn't sell them, and I don't buy them either anymore.
Yeah, I actually had somebody reach out to me. If you're in the chat, I just haven't got back to you. I did read your message. I just totally did not get back to you yet. And they asked you I'll put one together and it would be a mystery box for them. And I'm gonna decline that just because I'm not gonna get into selling them. I think that it's just it's just not. It's because no matter what you do, it's just you know what I'm saying. They could be like, well, it's not worth that. It's not worth that. And I'm just like, that is a slippery slope that I don't want to go down. So I'm going to go ahead and say that no.
Yeah, and I agree. So when I did my thrift boxes, because I don't need to thrift for inventory, and for probably 2 months I was doing like I would thrift and then I would put in a box, I would double what I paid. Those were not mystery boxes because I showed a picture of exactly what I was giving them and I doubled the price and I was only picking up stuff I wanted, but I wouldn't have felt comfortable like saying mystery thrift box, $40. Like I did show a picture of it. But I don't know. I was a sucker for mystery boxes on pallets because I always thought there's going to be like an iPad or something. And I'm a sucker for like those, but for me, like when it comes to buying, so I would never sell them, but when it comes to buying them, like not 100% mystery, but I love auctions that do crappy pictures. Cause if I can pick out one good thing in that picture, and it's pretty much like a mystery box. Just, I kind of know what I'm getting. Then that stuff I do, I like doing that.
I will say thread up rescue boxes. I have had some.
Oh yeah, Dale does a ton of thread. She just got a Louis Vuitton that was authenticated from
you
thread
can
up.
Definitely get some great stuff. I got a brand new pair of jeans that sold for $100 in like a day, and for a box I paid $20 for. Like sometimes.
Yeah. Dale loves thread up boxes. I forgot about them. To change the address to the buyer, it's just an option right before you click pay. It says ship to, you just hit change address and you can put your buyer's address in there. Don't switch it to your primary address. Just a tip. Do all of you do free returns? It scares me buyers would take advantage.
I do not do free returns.
I don't either, which I know a lot of people say you definitely should, but things are going fine without them. I do buyer paid. So I do returns, but the buyer has to pay for the shipping.
I do free returns. I've had seldom ones that actually have taken advantage, but I did just have a $150 return, which was very painful in my heart. But it really was. I did get the item back and everything's fine. I'll just resell it, but it hurts. It hurts right here.
And I do free 30-day returns. Let me tell you, I have sold 964 items in the last 90 days and I have 2 open return requests. And I have free 30-day returns. So I get less than 1% returns and I get 10% off on my eBay fees for offering it. So I actually get more than what I am losing. And like one of them was my fault. The hour hand was missing. And then the other one, actually somebody scammed me because I relisted a returned item and somebody switched the item on me. So it was a cell phone and the person who returned it before put a different one in and I did not know it. So I got scammed and I actually just refunded the buyer all of their money because that was my mess up. They sent a picture of the phone and said, this EIN is not the same. I'm like, oh, that little sucker. It was the same phone, but somebody switched it on me and sent me their not good phone. Demetrius wants to know on the site. So I think with almost everywhere, it's like automatically with Etsy, you choose if it automatically relists. eBay is automatically going to put it back up every 30 days. Poshmark leaves it up forever. I think Facebook. Is there anywhere that doesn't leave it up forever, guys?
I just know eBay.
I don't think so.
I just know eBay.
Jan is asking, when you put your store on sale,
then stop the sale and someone has an item in the cart, do they get the sale price?
Is Cat frozen there?
Yeah, I think she's done.
Okay.
She's back.
This is driving me bonkers tonight. Wendy wants to know if you're penalized for removing an old listing that doesn't sell. I don't believe so. Does anybody think you are?
You're not, no.
I agree. Yeah, you're not. I agree.
Grimmy the Griffin wants to know, have any of us received offers on eBay where the buyer simply deducts the shipping cost? So they're giving themselves free shipping. Like, have you noticed that on any of your listings?
I haven't noticed that, but lots of times it'll be if their offer's weird, you can look at the shipping, add it together, and it'll be an even number, like $100 or $75.
And then the
I've seen
taxes
that
throw
many,
them
many
all
times.
off, and I think it's
Yeah.
funny because they don't
All their
expect
math
taxes.
was screwed up anyway.
The thing that irritates me, which has happened more than one time, someone on Poshmark or something will send me, like, shipping's like $7. So send me an offer for $7 off. Say it's $20. They'll send me a $13 offer, and I'll counter like, I don't know, 18 or something. And they'll go, I'll pay 18 if you'll pay for shipping. Like, are you kidding me? Shipping is $7. Like 18 minus 7 is less than your first offer.
Yes. Yeah. Julian, have you noticed that?
Yeah, actually, I probably wouldn't have paid attention, but yeah, I would see that, especially golf clubs. They usually do like how I do golf clubs now. I do a flat rate, so yeah, kind of.
That's funny. I don't get that, but I do get the people that write. They'll send me an offer and they'll put with free shipping in the comment, and I decline and say this is against eBay policy. Like, you cannot demand free shipping of me when I'm charging. And I tell them, please offer what you're willing to pay, taking shipping into consideration. That is my response to those. It drives me up the wall. Do any of us use the coupon system on eBay?
I used it once, but I was also doing a couple other things at the same time. I had done some sell similar, and I was running a sale. So I had no clue if it had worked or not because I was doing too many things at the same time. And so I hadn't done it again since.
I don't use the coupon program yet anyways.
I don't either. It might be a good idea. I just don't use it.
I tried it once and only for a couple days. I might try it again at some point, but I haven't. I'd be interested to know if people in the chat have used it and have been successful with it. Like, is it worth the time? I would be interested in knowing that. Desert Fairy Chick, a vintage railroad cookbook. So what I do with all my ephemera is I sandwich it in cardboard, like put tape around the cardboard, and then I put it in a poly bag. So that's how I do the ephemera. Heather, the thrift battles are fun. They're over on Primetime Treasure Hunter. I have won 3 so far, so I've made it to like the top. I think there's only like, if I win one more, I'm in like the final. It's 2 people going up showing items they thrifted or got it online, online sales. However, you can get it however you want, and then the audience votes via Google Votes and decides the winner. So it's fun. I had a clean sweep last time, and that was the first time. I had not had a clean sweep my other 2 times. I like started behind in my other 2.
Undefeated.
Yes. Yeah, I did really good on the last one. I was happy with that. I actually am not that far behind on questions.
I know, I was thinking that.
I know, look at me go. Is anybody on Whatnot?
I'm not cool enough.
So I thought about it just because I have like 100 posters and I've seen poster auctions on Whatnot, and I just want to get rid of them fast, like start them all at $1 or $2 plus shipping, sell them all. So I want to do it, but I've heard on Whatnot they'll only accept you if you're going to have a frequent, repetitive auction on there. So I don't think they would accept my application if I tried to apply. Yeah, and I've attended some, but things seem to sell for way over like what I could buy them for to resell. So yeah.
No, I am not on Whatnot.
I got attacked by a frog on the way. Sorry, my daughter-in-law just walked in the shed that works listing for me. She didn't know I was live. So I just was accepted to Whatnot. I have my onboarding call tomorrow. I am at this point not sure if I will do auctions or not. And actually, I'm not going to say who it is because I don't know if she wants me to say, but there's somebody else that I know that has been on the show that is doing her onboarding call tomorrow night as well. So I I don't know. And Amber, I could tell you because like I have no information as of yet. So I guess they'll give me that tomorrow as far as like how regular. So I can't give any information as far as that. But I will tell you guys, it took me like 6 weeks to get approved. It wasn't fast for me. It wasn't easy. And I probably will actually start sourcing for Whatnot. Like I will probably be like, okay, this would do good on Whatnot, and find stuff that would, like Amber said, her posters. Like my Harley pins would have been great, but they're almost all listed now. But I'll probably start looking at lots that I'm getting and think of stuff that would do good. But if it is not worth my time, I will not continue. I'm not gonna just do it to do it if I'm not making a good profit on there.
Did they ask you questions before deciding to approve you about the frequency of auctions? Or
No.
Really?
Mm-hmm. No, all they asked me was like, they ask your channel. They ask like your Instagram, like if you have a YouTube channel, and then what category. So like I do like more vintage and like thrifted stuff, which is not done that much on there. So I think that's why it took me longer to get approved on there, because I'm not doing like toys or comics or, you know, like all the like hats. Right. Right. Like I'm not doing any of that. So I think that might be why it took me longer to get approved. I know George is on there, the Antique Nomad, but he was only doing like 1 or 2 auctions a month. So he wasn't like, and I don't know if Dom's still in the chat. I think because Dom's on there, I think he told me that there's no like minimum that you had to do. So I can let you know as I go.
I was watching a live the other night where they were talking about Whatnot, and it was, there was a few people that
time to go.
sell there. Yeah, I don't know what that was even said.
It is. No, it is time.
There was a few people that sell on there, but they were saying that you had to have consistent sales to get in the program or whatever. So. But it sounds like you got approved without them asking you that, so that might not be true.
I did. Oh, did we? Oh, do any of us use automatic declinations for low offers?
I used to, but I've found that lots of times if people have a question, they'll send you a random offer, and it'll be like a penny or $1, and it just comes with a question. They're not actually making an offer. They just don't know how to just send me a message, and it's their fastest way to send me a message. I've had that happen a handful of times, so I don't anymore.
I don't think so, because I don't know, so I'm gonna guess I don't have that set.
Yeah, I don't auto decline at any.
So I used to, but what happened is it only takes you 2 seconds to decline if you really want to. And what happens when it's $1 under what you're willing to, you know, like negotiate with? That happens a lot of times with me. And then I had lowered the price on some stuff, and it ended up like my low like decline offer was more than I had it priced at. So I don't use that at all anymore. Yeah. King George Flipper Terry, I saw this, but I think earlier, like none of us have used Flip. I think Drew and Amber said they were thinking about it. Julian and I use List Perfectly, so I don't think any of us can compare. Like I know nothing about Flip, and honestly, I'm super happy with like my service at List Perfectly. I'm not looking to change. So for me, I'm not gonna look into Flip. And Drew, you haven't used it yet, right?
No, I just heard about it today, and it just seemed real simple, but I've never looked into List Perfectly either, so it might be equally simple. But the draw for Flip was that it was free. So
right.
List Perfectly is also
yeah,
free.
And I mean, I like anything where I can say anything like pro or con against it. Amber, you said you were thinking about like comparing, but you haven't tried it either, right?
No, I want to do a video though that's like an in-depth comparison of them. But it's been on my list for like a year to do. So
I have a list of those too.
I'll wait to do it until you make the video.
There you go.
Hi, Christopher. What is List Perfectly? List Perfectly is a cross-posting.
It's a cross-posting service.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
You're back.
Listen, we're almost done. We're almost done. The simplicity of it, like my 73-year-old mother uses List Perfectly for me to cross post. It's super easy. So that's like the biggest thing for me. And then the catalog, being able to delete it off all platforms at once. Now that I'm doing it that way, I did not start out that way. So I was having to go to every single platform and delete it. But now I put it in the catalog. But yeah. I'm not wearing this is just me, Clay. Like, I don't know. It's my internet, I think. It's been wonky, and it was wonky the last 2 weeks. So hopefully
It's
it will
because you
be
can't,
better.
if you have a mic, like you actually have a mic, and my mic on my computer went up, so I bought a mic. You can't have the mic without this on. Like, I have a Yeti, and you can't just talk to the Yeti and then listen. Do you know what
How
I'm
the
saying?
speakers.
Yeah, you have to have this on. So so my computer went up, so I bought a Yeti to do voiceovers, but you can't, unless somebody knows something different, you have to have headphones on. And if you've ever worn like the ones in your ear for 2 hours, it like hurts your ears. These are like the most
Yeah,
comfortable.
I can't wear those things at all. I don't know
No,
if there's some like super expensive ones that are comfortable, but like I tried the like AirPods and they hurt my ears. Like, I don't like those things.
Yeah, Drew's doing it right. If you have a cap on, like a beanie, and then put these on, that's where it becomes most comfortable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But my volume is
All right,
way
guys.
up.
I brought mine too.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
need them, but I've
Look,
been
everybody, I don't even have, maybe I need some headphones so we can all have headphones. All right, guys, I'm going to let Drew and Amber tell you guys goodbye. I actually got through all the questions. I see some coming in now, but we were supposed to be done a few minutes ago. So make sure, check out Drew and Amber. Their links have been dropped. They are also in the description of the chat if you're not subscribed to them. I am going to let them tell you goodbye. And if you guys have videos coming out soon that you know, definitely let them know that. Here is Drew.
Well, it was fun again, everyone. This is honestly a highlight of my month, probably. It's been very hectic. I'm getting very close to that 1,000, that elusive 1,000 subscribers. So all subs would be very, very appreciated. And I recently just put out a video of my best buy ever. So it is a good time to actually come check out my channel and watch a video.
Perfect. Here's Amber.
Hey guys, so again, my channel is AmberResells, and I'm mostly known for being pretty analytical and numbers based. My most recent video was me announcing that I'm pregnant, so that'll be an interesting addition to reselling and full-time work as well. And I am currently trying to get my death pile listed before the baby gets here, but I also have 2 really exciting sourcing opportunities this weekend. So if you want to see all of that, me trying to get my death pile listed, getting my reselling room turned into a baby room, moving my reselling stuff elsewhere, all of that, go check out my channel, AmberResells. I'll be posting updates there. Yeah, a lot.
That sounds super complicated. It sounds super complicated. I will have my teapot video again, $300 up to, I think, over $8,000 for a teapot. Tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. And then Friday, I'm going to show the auction haul that I'm going to pick up tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you all for coming. Next week, Arcade Treasure Center will be my special host. And I will be joined by Troy, Mountain Man Treasure, along with George, the Antique Nomad. So I will see you guys tomorrow and every Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Oh, Julian, do you have anything to say before I get yelled at again?
I was trying to see how many subs Drew was up to, because I was going to plug that and tell everybody to go sub to him real quick so we can get him over 1,000.
What's he at?
I don't know. Drew, what are you at?
900-ish.
900?
906.
All right.
906.
906. So
There
94
are
of you go do it.
466 of you still here. We just need 94 to go subscribe to Drew. So go subscribe to him.
And I know that I'll be away, but I've been working real hard, and I still will be dropping content every other day on my channel when I'm gone. So just because I'm on vacation, I have pre-recorded stuff, all good, all wonderful stuff.
See, you do it the right way. I make videos while I'm gone and still edit while I'm on my trips.
It's impossible. No, no. But I still be dropping content every other day.
That should be my goal for when I go to Tennessee. I should have the videos ready for Tennessee, before I go. That's my goal. All right, guys. We will see you guys later. Have a good night.